Welcome, everybody. Midlife Vices, episode 24. Seems like forever since we recorded. Today is December 2nd. I think we last recorded sometime early November. How time flies when you're having fun. We want to welcome tonight to our show. You may see somebody else sitting there, and we are continuing our trend of world travel. Out of this world travel for tonight, because our theme tonight is out of this world. By once again having a guest from Canada. If you don't know this guy, then you haven't been watching the shows that he watches. He's a mainstay, an ally, and frankly, the best part of our show, if you've read the YouTube comments, it's DC Patrol. Welcome, Jason from Saskatchewan.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you here, Jason.
Great to
What
have
an
you.
Intro.
Hey, that's my favorite part of the show is hooking up that intro. So I do that
downhill.
I do the first minute. Jim does the last minute, and everything in between is just kind of
we
wing it.
I don't smoke, but I need a cigarette after that.
Smoke them if you got them.
That's got teaser written all over it.
It does.
Yeah.
I mentioned before we really go any further, I mentioned that you are also from Canada. You're our second guest. I know that every credit section Jim puts in there that Emmett is the lone Canadian. But we do have a couple people here from, I wanted to kind of honor where you're from. So first off, we've got, it did not show, dang it, it's in the background. Never mind.
Wait, let's have a quiz. Who do you think that is?
I wonder if there's a way to hide that. Let's see. Nope, never mind. Can you tell by the hair?
Hair anywhere.
Johnny Carson.
No, that is Leslie Nielsen.
I know who it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was bad.
Should we all just exit?
And then we're going to go with the second one here and see if you can guess who this one is. He's from Regina.
He's got an American flag.
Regina.
First one was. Am I allowed to guess the first one?
Absolutely.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
This one here, I just see a coat. I don't see anything.
I see the American flag.
Yeah, it is, which is kind of
it makes it hard to believe it's Canadian.
Yeah, it's the irony of the whole thing there.
We all go down there anyway.
Okay, no, Rick Moranis.
No. That was Roddy Piper from Regina, Saskatchewan, and that was his scene. That was from They Live. That was from They Live, where there's one of the greatest lines of all time. Do you know what that line might happen to be?
Yeah.
Either of you?
It was something about bubble gum.
I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick. I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Okay, I do know the line. I don't know.
That was actually more fun not being able to see who it was.
Yeah.
You had big plans.
Hey, She-Hulk is also from Regina.
Really? She is, huh?
Yeah.
And of course, Regina's mentioned in Deadpool.
Probably.
Because he says the guy's from Regina, and that's where he says that rhymes with fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that at all. But
you don't remember that line?
No.
When he's first.
I don't know if I've seen the first Deadpool that was not on TV. I don't think I've seen the non-edited.
Okay, gotcha. Anyway, we're going to play that game from now on, Jim. I'm going to throw faces up there behind us, and we're going to have to guess.
I like it a lot.
What's going on? Yes. So
I think if we had more people and our boxes were a little smaller, maybe you can see more of the person. I don't know.
That's what she said.
More guests.
Yeah. Anyway, so what you guys have been up to this week? Watching anything, reading anything?
I actually finally seen Black Adam.
Oh, I think you're the only one here.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I fell asleep. So
I've been there.
It was good, but I fell asleep probably in the first 40 minutes or so, and then I woke up for the end,
Just in time?
The stuff in the trailer where he's like punching planes, I didn't see any of that stuff.
Huh.
But
do you think that was strictly due to the movie not holding your interest, or do you think it had to do with you doing a bunch of traveling and stuff, driving around or whatever in between, and kind of wearing you out?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. It was okay.
Yeah.
it was perfectly fine. But you know.
Yeah.
That's my greatest review ever. That's the greatest thing ever. Help me sleep. It was great.
And of course, you brought back you showed some pictures, a bunch of old comics from your childhood.
Yes,
That's awesome.
Are you through a bunch of those? Or have you opened up a bunch already? Looked at them, or you still got a ways to go?
I've looked at a bit, like I haven't really read anything yet. But I'm excited to. Like, I've got almost all of Mutant X, which I thought I had maybe 10 issues. I've got almost 30. I brought back a bunch of my Stormwatch and Brigade and some X-Men stuff. Old stuff that nobody even remembers.
Yeah.
But they were my favorites.
How long have you been reading comics?
Most of my life, off and on. So I got into comics as a kid. Never bought any really until I was sort of like an early teen.
Just stole them?
No, I don't remember how they would come to me. I think my dad knew someone, and I would get some on occasion. Like, this is the first comic I ever read.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just got that, and Judge Dredd brought that back with me.
Oh, that's great. See,
Yeah.
Me and Steve both jumped in the comic game really late in life.
That's okay. You get to appreciate it more. Like, I don't remember anything I read.
Yeah,
I don't either.
No, I mean,
I don't remember what I read earlier this week. So
yeah.
Nice.
It's good. It's great.
Uh,
What about you, Jim?
This week, let's see. Me and the wife are still watching a lot of The Big Bang Theory.
I started watching that with my dad. I never watched it before. Big Bang Theory.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No, I loved it. It was great.
It's very entertaining. There's
Yeah.
it's a pretty drastically different show from I think the first season and the last season.
Okay.
But it's good throughout. Don't get me wrong. It's not. I don't think you start off that nerdy and end up three of them with pretty good-looking wives or successful wives and good-looking. Anyway, it's a good show. We laugh.
Your lives don't end up that perfect, right?
Yeah.
Mine did.
Yeah. Well, that worked out well. So we've been watching that. We still haven't thrown on the last 3 episodes of Rings of Power. We haven't finished that yet. Of course, the kids are sick, so that really puts a damper on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot going on in my. I'm reading Interview with the Vampire.
How's that?
I'm really enjoying it. I remember it's very much like the movie. I guess the Anne Rice wrote the movie as well, so it's very close. You know, there's some extra things in the book that's not in the movie. But then again, I haven't seen the movie since the theater, so. But I'm enjoying it. I'm reading it for Chris Evans. Not really. I'm reading it for me, but he talked me into it. And
Been there.
He's convincing.
Trying to get my wife to read it too. She'll go through a book in about 3 days, but getting her to start one is like pulling teeth, apparently. So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
Nice.
I have some good books showing up tomorrow. I have Gideon Falls, the hardcover, the second volume coming tomorrow, as well as another book that I can't think of. Oh, finally, the third book for the Aquaman Andromeda.
Nice.
Looking forward to that, for I can start that. And got the first. Well, got one of them back there. And yeah, that's it for me. Not a whole lot going on this last couple of weeks for me.
Yeah.
So,
how long has it been? What, a week and a half since we recorded?
Somewhere in there. Yeah, we did it Saturday before last.
Right.
Yeah. Which helps no one else besides me and you. Saturday before last.
I was just looking at my list, and there's a bunch of stuff that I actually watched and read, so I figured it had to be more than just the regular week.
Well, you
You
watched
guys-
Die Hard, so that's enough.
I watched Die Hard today, and man, it's so good. I mean, because of the conversation that's been on YouTube, or not YouTube, Twitter recently about Christmas movie or not. I'm not going to get into that on the show, but it just got me wanting to watch it, and threw it on today at about 2:00 and kicked back and watched it. And man, it's so good.
It's
Like,
great.
there's so much stuff about that movie that just makes it good. And one thing I noticed that I never noticed before that's very specific to Die Hard is the ding sound that the elevator makes. Like when it comes to the floor and it makes that ding sound, it's almost like a half dead battery bell would sound. And it's very specific to that Die Hard movie. If I heard that sound without seeing what was on the screen, I would know what movie was playing. Just weird.
It was nominated for an Oscar for sound, wasn't it?
I have no idea. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You're
There
right.
it is.
Don't question. Yeah, just go with it. Definitely one of the best villains in the movies. I mean, Han is fantastic. So, yeah.
One of his first American roles, right?
Yes.
I think it's his first movie ever.
I can't even think of his name off the top of my head at the moment, but
Alan Rickman.
Alan
Rickman.
I mean,
Hans Gruber.
he's on my list.
Died last year?
No.
Yeah.
A
Couple
few
years ago.
years ago.
Couple years. Oh, it has been a couple years. It doesn't matter once you're over a certain age how many years it's been, really. So,
2017 really kicked us in the nuts.
2017 was a killer. Also watched Bullet Train. I don't know if either of you have seen that.
That was Woody Harrelson and
No, the new one with Brad Pitt and
What'd
he's
you
on
think
a
of
Bullet
that?
Train in Japan. It was a fun movie. It was kind of a silly action movie that was kind of a little Kill Bill style gore with some good fun storytelling. I mean, it's not a great movie, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah.
It looks fun.
Yeah, it is. And it's got some good twists and stuff to it, too. So I think that's probably more what the basis is for it.
It looks like it was trying to set up to be a franchise. Do you think it would be, or?
It could be.
Yeah.
It sure. Well, I mean, without spoiling anything, it other than everybody dying, it could be.
what? It ends like
kill, even if it's trains.
That's right. Actually, now you don't even know if they kill everybody off. They could just go back and do a prequel. So
Why not?
yeah, there's really no franchises dead. And then we watched one. I told Jim this. I've been trying to expand my horizons with movies and stuff, and it hasn't been going well so far. Like we went to Netflix and I went to the awards section and watched a couple that have received certain awards. It's really not my thing. But we watched one called How It Ends. This was not in the awards section. And it stars Forrest Whitaker, and it's kind of an apocalypse type story. And it's a fairly good plot basis. It's just the storytelling, the coincidences that happen. You never really get a conclusion to what exactly happened. I mean, it kind of leaves it to your imagination. And I'm not getting paid to make the movie, so I don't want to have to make up the story on my own. But it's not bad. Other than that, quite a bit of reading. ASM, I got in 4 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, 7 through 10 of the current run. Batman 127, 128. Caught up on Action, the War Saga. Finally finished that. Really liked it. Great story. I think it's one of my favorite Superman stories ever. The funny thing is, I couldn't name you one character from Warworld. Other than Mongol, the main villain in it. But other than that, it's a really, really good story. Avengers 1 Million BC, a cool story. The new Spider-Man by Dan Slott. So yeah, quite a bit of reading and a couple issues of TMNT got in there. Got to keep up with Jim on that, otherwise he's going to spoil stuff for me. And then while in between shows, I know that you are a Doctor Who fan, correct?
Oh yes,
Jason. So you've seen the most recent one. I can't even think of the name of it now.
Power of the Doctor.
Power of the Doctor. You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think?
Oh, I loved it. It was the best in my mind of the whole Chibnall era.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too bad that they saved that for the end. Like,
Right.
I kind of wish it had that momentum the whole time, but
Yeah.
Jason, is your wife a Doctor Who fan?
no.
Oh, interesting.
She's not into sci-fi at all.
That's the opposite of me. My wife is a Doctor Who fan.
Oh yeah.
And I've only ever made it through one episode. So
okay. Well, hey.
And I love that episode. Don't get me wrong. Is it for some reason I can't? And it's Blink, so it's a Doctor Light.
You didn't have to say. Whenever someone says they seen one and they liked it, it was Blink.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus anyway.
No, I love Doctor Who. I love it for all its cheesiness, and I'm a little worried with it going to Disney. You know, I kind of like it not having a massive budget. There's it in there.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes with. I mean, I don't know if it's a spoiler, but I won't really say anything. But with who the next, I guess he's going to be an interim doctor, kind of is going to be. I'm looking forward to that. The way it sounds is it's going to be different than what it was, even though it's the same person. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so if I was going to watch Doctor Who, do I start from the beginning?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, give me a season start. I will watch an episode or two.
My personal favorite, and then I'll let Jason give you his. My personal favorite is Matt Smith as the Doctor.
What season?
And it's what season would it be?
5.
Is it season 5 of the reboot? I guess.
Yeah.
When they started with Eccleston.
Matt Smith is what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Matt Smith.
Okay.
Just because Amy and Rory are my favorite companions, so that makes that much better for me.
Okay, I will watch.
But I mean, you might. The nice thing about Doctor Who, you may not like Matt Smith as the Doctor. That does not mean you're not going to like David Tennant as a Doctor or Jodie Whittaker as a Doctor, or whatever. It's you get different characters every couple seasons. So, that's my recommendation. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, most people say to start with season 5, but I mean, I like it all. Peter Capaldi is my favorite Doctor, and he's the one that comes after Matt Smith.
Yeah.
But to me, you just can't go wrong. Pick an episode, find a title you like. Continuity is not important.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that it's on Netflix, I need to go back and. Is it Netflix? Yeah, I need to go back and watch from season 5 and watch it through. I might go back and watch some of the older seasons too, just to when it first started, just to give that a try.
So I remember trying to watch the episode after Blink, and it was a whole space traveling, and it just like this is nothing like what I just watched, Right. So it kind of threw me out, and my wife Heather, she just kept going. She plowed right, and she watched I think every episode. I don't know, but she really likes it. So
I think overall, I think it has each Doctor. They have their main plot, but that's maybe the main story every 4 to 5 episodes, 6 episodes, and everything in between. It might lean on that a little bit, but it's almost always about something else. So if you're not seeing the whole thing, it doesn't always work as a standalone. But for sure.
Okay, I'm going to give it a go.
Cool. It goes all over the place.
Yes.
Time and
literally.
Space.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
It gets all timey-wimey on you for sure.
Okay.
Cool. But so anything else before we move on to what you've watched or read?
I don't have to get too personal here. Jason, how old's your daughter?
8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
She I can't remember. Does she read comics?
Not really.
Okay.
She's made a few. She used to like them.
Oh, that's right. I think he put some pictures on Twitter one time.
Yeah. She likes manga more than comics. So,
Okay. Okay, just curious.
Absolutely.
Did you mention The Prisoner? Is that what
Yeah.
you were starting to talk about? I haven't seen that either.
The Prisoner?
I think that's what it's called with Steve Carell. And
Yeah.
Oh,
a friend recommended it, and I put it on for no real thought. And I watched 4 episodes. I don't watch a full episode of anything, and it's just fascinating. It's
I think I have seen a trailer for that.
yeah. I don't want to say anything, just in case. It's great not knowing and just stepping in and going for it.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Nice. All righty. Well, that's going to take us up to our.
Oh, yes. Wow.
You show me yours, and I'll show you mine. And as our guest, Jason, you get to go first.
All right, so I couldn't decide between 2 things, but I'll definitely do this one.
Show them both.
So this is a drawing of an ood from Doctor Who, and it's done by Ryan Lee, the guy who drew Mountainhead. He's doing a bunch of Rick and Morty and stuff. And so this
That's
is
awesome.
Yeah, one of his drawings
Yeah,
he did for
I
me.
honestly have no clue what it is, but it's awesome.
It looks almost kind of like if Jabba was to be crossed with what's the dude
The
from?
Sarlacc pit. It's like Job in the Sarlacc pit had a baby.
There you go. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, so that's my first piece.
That's
It
awesome.
goes well with the science fiction. It's normally hanging up over here
Yeah,
somewhere.
that'll confuse you. Trust me.
Oh, and right there is Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who.
Oh, it is, huh?
Yeah. Do you want me to show my second?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. A bit of a spoiler.
Oh, nice.
This is a Blade Runner set that I've got. It's got all the movies, all the different cuts of the movie. There's art with it, some concept art. There's a little unicorn thing that they paper mache that they make in there, or origami. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of little neat things in there, and all the different cuts of the movie.
That's awesome. We're gonna have to talk about that movie more because you're gonna be very disappointed in me.
Right?
Nice.
But yeah.
All right, Jim. Your turn, Jim. What do you got?
All right. So it's funny that you went with some art because I'm going with some art too. So
No way.
this is drawn by Anil Sharma, who is on the Generation X-Wing podcast. He also did cards for the Star Wars collecting cards.
Uh-huh.
So these were both done by him. Just a fantastic Canadian artist.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, anyway, this is one of my favorite things in my collection.
That is awesome.
So,
All right. Then I have this one is a biggie. It's not sci-fi related, but
is it art?
no. This was a going away gift when I left my civilian job after retiring.
Wow.
Somebody did all the woodworking on this and made it for me. It's solid wood. It's heavy. I would have to be Chris Evans.
You know how-
Not that Chris Evans, the other Chris Evans.
You know how
Not
bad I
the
want
real
to check
Chris
security
Evans.
right
And then,
now?
of course, they put the handles on. Everybody signed it on the back. But,
So
Oh,
who signed that?
just everybody I worked with. No, not Chris Evans. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, no, I so when you left the Air Force, that was your parting gift?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they made it. Made it and painted it. And
Mine was 2 cartons of smokes and like $30 or something.
that's worth more now than the.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know the price of wood.
That's true too. Yeah, you're not lying.
I make my
You're not.
I make my wife pay for the wood. Yeah, that's everyone.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
that's what she said. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that was the.
Oh, yes. Wow.
You show me yours, and I'll show you mine. That takes us into the
You
next
have a mail message.
viewer mail. First letter this week comes from Bones from Atlanta, Georgia. Love the show. Would love to participate, but damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a list maker. Next letter is from Gertie from San Fernando Valley. She says, I love candy. My favorite is Reese's Pieces. What's yours?
Probably Almond Joy.
Almond Joy? Yeah. You like the nuts more than the not nuts?
Yeah, I don't like melons.
Huh. What about you, Jason?
Probably Reese peanut butter cups.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
I mean, yeah, they're fantastic.
By far. Now, I'm going to show my world travel here. My favorite, when we go to, I joke, but when we go up to Canada to visit my in-laws, either the coffee crisps, those are definitely the go-to. So, but still, Reese's is by far my
I think I'm
favorite.
going to change my answer to the Score Bar.
Oh, those are good too. You know what you do with the Score Bar is you make a
Eat 'em.
Kahlua cake. You make a Kahlua cake. So you take the chocolate cake mix and you use some of the water, you add Kahlua and replace it, and then you break up those Score Bars and you break it in the cake and you bake it. And you've got a Kahlua Score Bar flavored chocolate cake, and it is awesome.
I'm going to need a recipe, I think.
Yeah.
So it's chocolate cake and Score Bar and Kahlua. I don't know the recipe. I didn't make it. It was made for me. Come on now. Jeez.
Fine.
The last letter we have here is Thomas from Zion, and he just says, there is no spoon.
There's no what?
There's no spoon. Oh, wait, no, I do have one more. This one came in the last minute and actually got delayed. It's Hugo from Santa Rosa. He says, I'm writing this letter a couple days before the Powerball jackpot is going to be almost $2 billion. I hope you get this in time. I suggest you try these numbers. 4, 8, 15. I'm going to stop you there, Hugo. The Powerball already ended, and I am not going to play your numbers. So, but thanks for offering. Thanks for watching. Please continue to send in the letters.
23?
Love the mail call.
We like it too. We like hearing from our viewers.
Yes.
Always.
Meredith is my favorite.
Meredith, I don't know what happened to Meredith this week. She's probably passed out somewhere.
You have a mail message.
It's the viewer mail. And that's going to take us into tonight's list. And what we've got for you tonight is our top 10 sci-fi movies. Top 10 sci-fi movies. Again, as always, the reason doesn't matter why you like it, whether it's you think it's a great film or it's nostalgic or it's fun for you to watch or, whatever the reason is, it's your reason. And we will only slightly mock you. But we will go ahead and start with you, Jason, on your number 10. And the way this will work is if you list something that we have or we list something that you have, just go ahead and let us know. And we can talk about it all then or at a later point. It doesn't matter. That way we don't have to talk about the same thing 3 or 4 times.
So my number 10, and really these are in no particular order except number 1, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It's just
What's that your number there, Jim?
What's that?
What's that number on your list?
It's not on my list.
Oh, it's my number 6.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Yeah.
And that goes for a couple of these movies actually on my list.
So what puts that on the list for you there, Jason?
Sorry?
What puts that? What do you like about it? Go ahead and talk about it.
In a lot of ways, I think it might be the most important movie I've ever experienced.
With the most important song ever.
I mean, the song doesn't quite make it, but they get there. But yes, absolutely.
Who doesn't love the Wild Stallions, right?
That's it. I mean, I seen that movie in the theater as a kid, and me and my buddy Randy would drive on our bikes, and we were Bill and Ted and everything. Like it was sort of that first movie that was not a cartoon that really just
Hit home first.
connected and never left. Like, you can watch it anytime.
Yeah, I think I was probably a sophomore or junior in high school when that came out. So, yeah, what was it, like 91, 90, 91, something like that?
89.
89, was it that? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
88 or 89.
So I was a freshman, yeah.
I think
Yeah,
I
it was.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so I like hold a grudge against that movie because it ruined Keanu Reeves for me. I seriously can't watch a movie with him in it without expecting him to go, dude.
But that's the thing with Keanu Reeves, Jim. He has never changed. He hasn't progressed. He's still that same actor. I mean, it's.
I don't think that's the truth because I've seen him in Matrix. But like I said, just because of that movie, I expect him just to go into that role at any moment.
Yeah.
And it's completely ruined. I mean, I haven't watched any of the John Wicks.
Really?
Just because I can't take him serious. And that's terrible. You know, it's nothing against him. It's completely on me. Just can't do it. I don't know why. It ruined the Matrix movies for me.
Yeah. We all have those kind of things, though. That's okay.
Yeah, well, it makes no sense, and I know that, but I do agree. I like him in that role.
Yeah,
you know.
All right. So what do you got for number 10, Jim?
My number 10 is 12 Monkeys. You've never seen 12 Monkeys?
Oh no, I have. Yeah.
It's you either really like it or you don't like it.
Yeah.
It's Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt. I like the whole time travel thing. That's a big draw for me in movies for some reason. That's it. This is the one on my list that I have not seen in probably a decade. I just knew it was going to be on my list, and we're better.
I didn't dislike the movie. I just thought that the time, like they tried to be too smart for me. Like,
well,
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good movie. Like I said, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch it now that you mentioned it because I might have a different feeling about it now.
Well, I might watch it again. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a decade. I might watch it again and hate it.
Yeah.
But I remember when I watched it thinking like, oh, this is entertaining. And it was also probably going through my movie snob era, you know, when I thought I would know more about movies. And
no, that's just more my thing, I think, with movies. Like, what's the, Jacob's Ladder? I'm not a fan. Or what's the one? It's probably some stupid, easy name to remember. It's like the Tree of Life. It's just the trees there, but the garden or the tree or I don't know. And it's, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now.
The Fountain.
The Fountain. That's the one.
Oh,
and it's just too convoluted for me. It's just, it outsmarts itself.
Yeah. It tried way too hard.
Yeah.
I find his movies are often that way.
Yeah.
Who did that movie?
Darren Aronofsky.
No clue. So let's go back to the movie I actually said.
Yeah, 12 Monkeys. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's okay because I just remember the whole kid in the well, and that's how Bruce Willis proved he was a time traveler. And then seeing he saw himself get shot, right?
You know, I'm gonna have to go rewatch it because I didn't honestly remember that Bruce Willis was in it. I remember that Brad Pitt was in it, but I completely forgot.
Bruce Willis is the main protagonist.
Yeah, I probably saw it once when it first came out, so I'm just making up whether I liked it or not.
Yeah, I enjoyed it when I saw it. Like I said, I haven't seen it in probably a decade.
Yeah. Nice.
It's on my list.
Nice. My number 10 is Total Recall. I like both versions, but the first one was great. Again, that one almost outsmarted itself, but can a movie with Arnold really outsmart itself? So
Sharon
Was he
Stone.
really on? Was he really ever on Mars? Who knows? But yeah, it was really cool. It was a fun idea for the time. The special effects were fantastic. Now, when you watch it back, they don't quite hold up. But
Oh no, they don't at all.
no,
Don't
but
they?
no.
The nose thing doesn't
Like-
that hold up? No.
It's like watching Doctor Who. I'm just kidding. No, it's yeah, I agree with you. I remember when that movie came out, it was huge for me. I mean, there's 3 boobs.
Yeah,
There's
I'm trying to remember.
those
Was
things
that?
that you're saying. That just that was a pretty dramatic scene for me at that time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Was that was Sharon Stone, right?
Sharon
Was that
Stone.
before
Way
Basic
before.
Instinct or after?
Way before.
Way before. Okay,
Yeah, that was like the first thing I think she was in.
probably. Yeah.
Well,
Action Jackson. I remember she was in that.
Was she really?
Yeah.
oh,
That was a fun film.
It was a good movie. I haven't seen it since, but
No, I would have put her in that movie.
Hmm.
I never would have remembered that. So my number 10 is Total Recall. So what you got for number 9?
now you mentioned the remake.
Yes,
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, I've not seen that yet.
it's good. It's a good film, and they changed it enough to where it's not a copy of it, but I still prefer the original.
yeah, I love that movie. That's one I could watch anytime. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one I might have to watch tomorrow.
All right, number 9.
Number 9, I've got Solaris, both versions. That's one I doubt you guys know about.
No, I don't.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
So the original is like a Russian movie. Great. It's I don't know. It's a beautiful movie. It looks great. I really like the director. And then they did one maybe 15 years ago with George Clooney, and it's also really good. It's about a planet that can sort of give you what you want. And in this case, it's his wife. And, it's like a science fiction romance movie. But, yeah, it's unique. It's not your typical science fiction movie, but it's really good.
So you said it starred George Clooney.
Yeah,
Did
the
he
more
also
recent one.
did he direct it? Or,
I don't think so.
I mean, how old is it? I'm sorry.
That's about 15 years.
Okay,
I'd say.
so that's before he went into the whole executive producer and
I would think so.
Hmm.
It's older now, but it was also really good. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
You know what we need to do, Jim, and this is off topic a little bit, is go through the shows and write down the stuff from all the lists that we've done and post it. And that way, or at least make myself a copy, because there's a lot of stuff I need to watch that people talk about that I've never seen. So
Yeah, well, I mean, so far every Canadian we've had on, I haven't seen like 90% of their stuff.
well, I didn't expect to see anything Emmeted.
Yeah, I didn't either, honestly.
Because I watched their show and I know what he watches, but I wasn't sure with Jason. So
So you're a big
Good mix.
You're a big sci-fi guy, I'm guessing.
Me, yeah, more than I really I thought at first when I was like saying the list, but yeah, when I think about it, yeah, no, I love sci-fi.
See, you're like someone I wish I would have known when I was in my early 20s. I would have bought a pizza. I would have went to your house. We would have watched a movie, and I would have went home and said, "I have no idea what I just saw."
Yeah, well, we can still do that now, but it's
just
a longer
really long
drive.
yeah. All right. So what do you got for number 9, Jim?
Number 9 for me is E.T.
Okay.
Again, I haven't seen this movie in quite a while, but I think it hits all the right heartstrings. And is that even a word?
All the right heartstrings? Yes, that's absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it just didn't sound right when I said it.
Yeah.
Made no sense. Yeah, I think I don't have to talk about this movie a whole lot. I think everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
I I didn't put it on my list, and the only reason was because I haven't watched it in so long.
Yeah, I actually tried watching this a few months ago. The last couple days, there's a new Super Mario Brothers movie coming out, and my boys love the trailer. So I've been watching a lot of trailers with the boys. We watched Mario Brothers. We watched the GI Joe movie trailer. We watched Transformers, He-Man today. We watched a whole bunch of trailers, and I threw on the ET movie trailer, and they laughed. So I don't think they're quite old enough to understand the movie and to watch it, but I'm really looking forward to watching that with the boys. So.
Nice.
Well, what you need to watch is the GI Jeff episode of Community. So
yeah, I won't make them watch it though. No. But you're right. I still haven't seen that.
No, get on it. Good choice, ET. You can't go wrong with ET.
You can't.
My number 9 is Planet of the Apes.
Remake or original?
All of them. I mean, the original movie is just one of the best movies ever. I'm not big on classic films, but when it comes to that, that's probably
I have not seen the originals.
Few at the top of my list. I remember the first time seeing it. I don't know how old I was, but just the ending was. I think that's probably the first big movie twist. First big movie twist that before everybody started doing it. The way it ended, and just everything's come from. I like the new ones too. I like all of them. I think they're really, really good. The action in the new ones is fantastic. The story and the
even the Tim Burton one.
The Tim Burton one.
You don't remember, huh?
I don't know who directs movies.
You're talking about Mark Wahlberg ones?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have not seen those either.
Me neither.
But the newest ones. Remember when Caesar first talks?
Yeah.
And there's like 7 minutes of silence after that movie. Like there's not dialogue for a long time. Or maybe it's right before he says stop. I can't remember. I just remember being impressed with how this movie held my attention with no dialogue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the new one was really good.
Yes.
It was. Nice. So that's my number 9, Planet of the Apes.
Good choice.
Absolutely. My number 8?
Yes, sir.
Clockwork Orange.
Okay, I have seen this. It's been a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's hardly sci-fi in the typical sense. It's futuristic in that it takes place in the future, even though it looks very much the 70s. It's just a good excuse to put the movie on the list. I love it.
That's I have a hard time with that movie. No,
Absolutely.
I haven't seen it since I was in the Army. So I might have been drunk and not even known what I was watching. I can't speak a whole lot about it. I just remember it felt like it really, I don't want to say sexualized, but sensationalized violence, and that might be what they were trying to do, you know, or romanticized it, I guess.
That's very much a thing about it. Like it's, you know, by sensationalizing it, they're saying, you know, this isn't good. And
yeah, I might have to watch this again just to see if I have a different.
It's by the guy who did Full Metal Jacket, and it's
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, and both of those movies. I'm not a war movie guy, but I love Full Metal Jacket because it just walks that line of showing war and it's
I mean
not easy.
So Full Metal Jacket, the basic training scene is the fact that they had an actual, drill instructor doing it helped a lot. But it is on target. I mean, it was on target for sure. With most of my experience anyway. I don't know about Jim's, but other than we didn't have anybody shoot themselves in the bathroom, but just the way that they, that things went in the barracks there, getting yelled at and all that kind of stuff. It was very, very on target, very good. Of course, that was in the 70s or 60s, so they were allowed to be a little more ferocious than they are now.
That's it. I don't know what it must be like now. Can we get away with some of that stuff?
Well, I don't know. If you ask anybody now, everyone thinks they get stress cards and stuff like that, which is just been a rumor for 30 years, I think.
Yeah. So I became an instructor at the tech school in 2003, so 19 years ago. And we get new students straight from basic training, come in to train them in their job. And every new class that came in would say, yeah, now they're starting to hand out stress cards. They get timeouts now, this sort of thing. And then 5 years later, they come in and they say, yeah, we just heard that the new classes come in and are getting these stress cards. They're getting these, it's the whole thing where everybody thinks they had it harder than the new people behind them. And it hasn't changed. It didn't change for me and all the way up. I mean, there are different rules for good reason for most of them, but did stuff really change? No, I don't think so.
Probably not. The military is like the one thing that can't change that much. You need to be tough.
Of course, they didn't allow us to beat the crap out of each other. I mean, like they show, they show the soap in the sock thing in Full Metal Jacket. We weren't allowed to do that, but I don't know about the Army and the Marines. I just know in the Air Force we weren't allowed to. But we weren't really allowed to sweat in the Air Force, so that's a different story. They would make sure we were air conditioned all the time. Actually, that's another fun. We'll talk about this some other time, Jim.
We'll do a war one.
That's
just all the rumors.
Completely different top 10 list.
Rumors of basic training, because everything always had to be clean. There was rumors that they would come in at nighttime and put dust bunnies in the vents to blow them out, so they could yell at you for not keeping your stuff. I mean, silly stuff. Anyway, where were we?
I have no clue.
Number 8, Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange, number 8. Number 8. We will no longer mention Stanley Kubrick. He's on our blacklist.
All right. My number 8 is Minority Report.
Oh, man. I almost put that. Yeah.
Tom Cruise, some other guys, some other actress. Don't know her name. Just a good... Who is the other guy?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, thank you. Yes, I really like the whole ethical of can you arrest someone before they commit a crime. I enjoy that aspect of that movie.
I hope so, because that was the point of the movie. If you didn't enjoy that aspect, you probably wouldn't have had it on your list.
Yeah, that's true.
No, that's a fun movie.
That's it. It's just I think I get more of that movie the more I watch it. Granted, I haven't watched it a whole lot, but the first time it was just a fun little action movie. The second time I was like, oh, there's a deeper plot here.
Yeah.
And the third time I watched it, I was drunk. So.
And Tom Cruise does run in it, right? That's all that matters.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He runs. So
plays volleyball too.
That's
no.
True. No. Totally different movie.
Okay, so my number 8 is Minority Report.
Good pick. I like it. My number 8 is Men in Black. My list is going to consist mostly of movies that I can watch. Like that, when I pick out my favorites, it's if I'm flipping through channels and it's on TV and I stop, that's probably one of my favorites. So, Men in Black, if it's on, I always stop on it. Just hilarious. There's some great scenes. I think we talked about the training scene a couple episodes ago. Or where they're in the room and he pulls the table over to them and stuff like that. So just a lot of fun. Tommy Lee Jones is great.
Can we go back to Stanley Kubrick for a sec?
Absolutely,
sure.
Because Vincent D'Onofrio, as you guys were talking about,
yes,
is the guy who killed himself. So I like that. Episodes are back to back talking about this. This is great.
Yeah. Did I mention that to you?
No, I think it was the last episode.
That's right. It was last episode.
The one I was supposed to be on. Yeah.
See, I didn't even recognize him as the bad guy in Men in Black.
Right.
I didn't either. It was only years after.
I still don't believe it, honestly.
Well, I actually only seen him in Law and Order: Criminal Intent, Criminal Intent, because he was on that. And then when I saw Full Metal Jacket again, I was like, oh my, that's Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah. It's the same guy.
See, him playing Fisk, I can see that, as
Yeah.
a thin guy, but put some hair on him. I have no idea who the man is.
Right.
What a
That's for sure.
disguise.
He does the Clark Kent. I don't know who that is again.
Again, back to basics training. You surprised you shave somebody's head. Like,
That's actually that's probably the best argument for Superman and Clark Kent is if you put a wig on Gomer on Pyle.
yeah.
Who is that guy? Okay.
All right. So my
Number
number 8 is
seven?
Men in Black.
Perfect.
And I like
Mine-
all of them, but the first one was the best. So
Absolutely. I haven't seen number 3.
I don't think I have either.
it's good.
And the new one, the international one. I haven't seen that either.
With Thor, it's pretty good too. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to
Not
see
bad.
it.
Okay.
All right. So number 7.
Alien.
Okay. I have seen this.
It's a classic. I mean, it's science fiction barely, it's the future and all that, but it can work as a horror or sci-fi.
But I was actually thinking about that while making my list. It's like most of mine are genres of sci-fi, not straight sci-fi.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
I haven't watched that movie forever either. I need to go back and watch that because
Yeah, it's been
I
a
don't
while.
have it on my list, but I know
I
I'll
watch
watch
it
it
regularly.
Do you?
Yeah, I just can't get enough of it.
Now I've actually heard some people that hate Aliens, and I've heard some people that say they like Aliens better than Alien, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess maybe because it's a little more modern. I mean, in the graphics and or the effects and stuff.
Yeah. Aliens is okay. I mean, I don't mind it. It's probably my favorite James Cameron movie. But yeah, Alien is just all atmosphere and creepiness. Yeah. And I like it.
I probably couldn't tell you which one is which.
I think you could if you were to look at them.
I just mean like right now, if you ask me which one is Alien and which one is Aliens, I think the second one is the robot, right? When they bring the alien back. That's the second one, right?
Yes,
About
yes,
them in
yes.
the little machine.
Yeah.
Okay. The little machine.
Cool. And number 7 for you, Jim.
Number 7 for me would be Jurassic Park.
That's my number 3.
Oh, all right. You want to wait? We'll just wait to talk about
No, we'll talk about it now.
Fine, have it your way. I cut school to go see this. Cut my senior year. This came out, what, 93, I'm guessing?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I went with 5 other people in high school, and it probably more so with the whole scenario than the movie itself. Did I enjoy that movie going experience? Because we were all just cutting jokes and
Yeah.
just having a good time. And then the movie is very entertaining and the first realistic dinosaurs on TV. So
Yeah, I'm noticing looking at my list, that's kind of a trend with mine is a lot of them are the whole kind of the way things first looked when they were on screen, like groundbreaking type films. And that's definitely one of them.
yeah, I don't think that first movie has still been topped as far as graphics. I mean,
No, I like the graphics better than that than the more modern ones. I think they went way too CGI. I think in the newer ones.
yeah, and
They
then
were CGI then too, but
we got so many Jeff Goldblum memes. It's just.
and that's still probably the scene that has made me jump the most was the raptor running in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
And running into the reflection of itself or the little girl.
Yeah, seeing her shake when she notices the Jello. I mean that was pretty intense.
It was for the first time. Yeah, really good. Love it.
Yeah, great movie. Great theme song, John Williams. You should look him up sometime, Steve.
Yeah, you're never gonna let that one go. People don't understand when I say I don't know who makes movies and who is involved in them. Very rarely do I actually. I
See,
just found out that John.
and I believed it, but I just think John Williams has done so many of the greatest songs in movie history that I find it hard to believe that you didn't know it. So it makes me laugh. So
There's only one reason I watch post-credit scenes, and that's for the MCU movies. I've never seen a credit before in my life before the MCU. So, yeah. And it's like we've talked about before with the art with the comic books, the music, the score in a film. I don't notice it. I don't think about it unless it's bad. So it's just never popped
You're the
into my
perfect
mind.
audience member.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's what you want.
It is, yeah. If the score is right, if it works, then you shouldn't notice it. It should add to the film. It should. All right, my number 7, Independence Day. The first one.
Was there another one?
yeah,
I
haven't seen it, but yes.
I haven't seen it either. They remade it. Was it a remake or a reboot or a? It was a kid, wasn't it? Or it was supposed to be. I don't even know what the plot is.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the original. Again, the special effects were fantastic.
Again, great Jeff Goldblum memes.
Great Jeff Goldblum, great Will Smith.
I think that's like a necessity now for a great sci-fi movie.
It is, yeah.
How memeable is it?
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum memeable.
Jeff Goldblum.
Just get all the way through. I mean, they were a new take on the aliens taking over. I mean, the plot of it was the same. They're here for our world and our resources, but
I bet Bill Paxton might have got. Is that Bill Paxton who played the president?
Is it Bill Paxton or Bill Pullman? I always get
Bill
those two.
Pullman, I think.
Pullman.
Yeah, not Paxton. That would. I think he could have probably got nominated for president if he would have ran after that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was a great.
Kind of like Michael Douglas in what was he the president in?
American president.
American president. There you go. With Annette Bening.
Thank God we have a Canadian on here.
That's right. It's amazing that we do a show about TV and movies.
I know.
I just love it.
I know.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Anyway, so Independence Day, my number 7.
And so my favorite part of that movie is Randy Quaid.
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember him in it.
What's that?
I don't even remember him in it.
He plays the crazy pilot that actually saves the day.
Isn't that just him in every movie he's in?
Yeah. I mean,
He was the Up Yours pilot. Yeah.
That's right. I don't know why. I was thinking that was like Mars Attacks.
oh, how is that not on my list?
I know. I thought of it as you said it. I was like, that's not on my list.
I'm pretty sure I could guess both of your number 1s, but we'll wait until we get there before we.
No, my number 1 won't be on either one of your lists.
No, I don't have it on my list, but I'm sure I can guess what yours is. I think. Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Unless you name it before we get to number 1. All right. So what do you got for number 6?
Right now, so.
Are you drunk?
No, I wish I was.
No, but let me tell you. My number 6 is Dark City. It's
I don't know this.
It's dark and gritty.
Oh, you got to give me more warning than that.
Sorry.
Adam Incoming.
Dark and gritty.
Actually seen the show on the show. Actually, set me up for all the good stuff. That was nice. I like that.
So it's about these sort of alien vampire kind of creatures that have taken over seemingly the world, and they switch people's bodies and memories and stuff. And so your wife today may not be tomorrow, and you might be someone else. And it's really, really strange. They can change the entire city, the structure of it and everything. And it's sort of like an old-fashioned noir movie, but sci-fi.
Was that one ever a comic book or no?
I don't know if
thinking
it
so.
was.
I'm probably thinking of something else.
It came out, I think, like 2 years before The Matrix, and so
Okay.
it has sort of that style of a feel.
Gotcha.
I've never heard of this.
It's really great, and it's just always fun to watch. You know, like it never lets up. It's got this great momentum.
Anybody in it that I might not know?
It's Ed
Harris.
Ed Harris, I think it is.
Look at me
And
go.
We had a 50-50 shot at that. It was either
Yeah.
Ed Harris or Ed Norton.
How many names do you think are out there?
No, it isn't Ed Harris. It's William Hurt. I always confuse
Okay,
those
there you
two.
go.
And sorry.
Okay, well, you gave me the wrong first name. How am I going to stand a chance?
It's true. And Rufus Sewell is a British guy, but yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's
Dark City.
Oh, Will, that sounds good. That
Okay.
sounds like a good one. Nice. Good choice.
Thank you.
We're at number 6, right?
Number 6.
Number 6 for me is the Terminator franchise.
That's my number 4.
Specifically, the first 2 are the only 2 that I really love. I don't know how many past that I've actually seen, but I remember seeing the first one. Man, I was really young. That was what, 86?
84.
84?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Watched it at a friend's house because my parents wanted to let me watch that movie. And it blew my mind, especially when he did the razor blade in the eye thing.
Yeah.
And then realizing the whole time paradox with John Connor, that's not even possible. How did this happen? So just great storytelling. And then the second one, the special effects were amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only one of these I think I've seen in the theater.
Judgment Day.
I love the first one, but the second one, I'm the only person on earth who probably doesn't enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the first
really
one.
disappointed by it. I bought all the trading cards and I was ready and excited and went and I was just like, okay, there's a water man.
Yeah.
And
Metal.
then that was it. I was just disappointed. But I wish I could have got on there with everyone else.
I enjoyed the ending scene of him lowering himself down in the lava. I really like that.
Yeah.
I think the first one, I think it showed more a relentless coming after her. I mean, that whole scene with her crushing it and the tans, it just a great idea, great execution from a franchise, I think.
Yeah. I'm with you. I didn't even mind the ones after, but the first 2 were definitely my favorites.
Yeah, I just haven't seen them enough.
You know, it's crazy. At the time, I remember them talking for T2, talking about how much it cost each time they did the T1000 effect on screen, and now you can do it on your cell phone. Like
Crazy, isn't it?
it's just nuts how far
How
stuff
do you
is
do
going.
that on your cell phone?
I don't know. You probably can. I'm just guessing.
But just to say, you know,
Yeah.
it has changed a lot.
Why don't we have better stuff on our show then?
That's right. That's true.
Hey,
How was that easy?
I'd love to see my head explode.
Yeah, I can't even get Leslie Nielsen on the front side of the screen.
Oh, so good.
That's hilarious. That is funny. Oh,
But yeah, so Terminator, my number 6.
and my number 6 was already mentioned. That's Bill and Ted. So that is going to take us to our top 5 picks.
High five!
Our high five and start number 5.
I love how your pace slows down when you have to get something
Oh, you gotta find it.
Love it.
I wish there was a better way to organize StreamYard where you could just have everything you needed and
You should-
get rid of everything else. But I don't have to delete everything.
You're
and
doing
add
this
it
on
all
your
back
cell
in.
phone. It'd be at a touch of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5
My number 5 is Cloud Atlas.
is what?
Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas.
So it's by the Wachowskis, and it's like a series of short stories, all barely connected through time. Tom Hanks is the main actor, but Halle Berry's in it, and Hugh Grant, and there's quite a few good actors. And you know, what I like is that it's a story about how hard things were, and how there's always, like, through little, slowly but surely, even no matter how dark it looks, there's always sort of that little glimmer of hope. And so the book is great.
There's like a part of me right now that feels like you're making this up just for like you'd be like let's see if we can get Jim to go along with this movie, because I have no clue.
And when you mention the actors in it, it's like, how can I not have heard of this with those actors in it?
It's
Have you
not
heard
a
of it, Steve?
well-received movie. A lot of people don't like it. It sort of got pushed aside. It's long, but it's really. I'm a sucker for hope. You know, like, I love a good.
I
No
hate
matter,
it.
no matter what, we'll get through this.
Yeah, I like. I've never heard of this movie. I mean, not even no idea.
No.
Awesome. That's what makes this show so great.
I know. Now, Steve, have you heard of this?
No,
Oh man, this is. Was it?
but I hadn't heard of John Williams, so is that really? It's not like I'm groundbreaking material here that I don't know.
Okay. What's this called again?
Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you message me that tomorrow, Jim.
I'm going to fill this paper away at the end of the show. It does no good to write it down.
I'll send you my list tonight.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, I had someone else do that. Adam.
Adam,
Don't know where that went. Okay, yeah, I'm going to. Yeah.
So what's your number 5, Jim?
Okay, if he gives another one, number 4, where I've never heard of, I'm gonna.
You haven't heard of my number 4.
Oh, crap. Okay, so my number 5 is Ready Player One.
I haven't seen that.
Mostly because I love the book. The movie's very good as well, but the book just connects my entire childhood into one story, and the movie does that almost as well. So now, have you seen this, Steve?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm not making it up.
No.
I have not read Ready Player 2 or yet, but you have not seen the movie?
No, but it looks good.
Oh, it's entertaining. It's not rocket science or anything like that. It's
Good movie.
It's, entertaining. I
It
find
is.
it fun.
How's the Iron Giant? I need to watch it. That should have been on my list.
Oh, you said it has the iron. It does have that. It has the Iron Giant. It has all kinds of stuff in it. You can find something new in the background
That's awesome.
every time you watch that movie. The DeLorean from Back to the Future. There's all kinds of stuff in it. It's great.
Fun.
But yeah, it's just fun. And that's, I don't think the story is overly fantastic.
Right.
I like it better in the book, but
It's a nostalgia movie. It is. It's
and that's
built on
100%. And they don't shy away from it.
That's
the
good.
thing. So
Yeah.
Cool. Speaking of nostalgia, my number 5 is Back to the Future.
it's my number 2.
I mean, the three of them together.
Great.
Yeah.
story.
Great trilogy.
Absolutely.
Pretty much outside of Hot Tub Time Machine, which is not on my list. It pretty much defines time travel. For me, in my mind, that's how it all works. And I think they did a great job of making it simple, but just really funny. Great story. We all kind of the fear of your mom trying to hook up with you. It's kind of creepy.
My mom's hot.
Oh yeah.
Just kidding, Mom.
Oh yeah.
It's so gross.
I don't even know how to fix this now.
She watches this too.
She does watch this, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't say just kidding because that makes it sound like she's ugly, but I also don't want to go through with that.
It's all for comedy, Jim's mom.
Yes.
It's all for comedy. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, she'll get a kick out of it.
But yeah, I mean, Back to the Future. I mean, you just can't go wrong.
No.
And just the stuff like you mentioned with Ready Player One, the stuff you don't catch that you can catch each time you go back. Like I watched a special on it last year or something. They talked about all the little things, the changes from the first timeline to the second timeline, like the name of the mall or the name of the park or whatever.
The Lone Pine.
Yeah, changing all that I didn't notice watching it originally until it had actually been pointed out to me. But just those little nuances that make it really good. Plus,
I just watched the Big Bang Theory episode where he was saying like, I'm supposed to be working on this, but actually what I did was draw the flux capacitor.
right.
So
Yeah.
just
I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the whole train thing, but
so the third movie gets better as you get older, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when it first came out, I wasn't the biggest fan of the third movie.
Yeah.
I watched it again in the last 2 years, and I loved it. Thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like it a lot. So
yeah,
that's my number 5.
I actually the second movie probably went down, and the third movie came up more for me the last time I watched it. Billy Zane is in the second movie. Billy Zane's a cool dude.
I like the second one. I didn't care for. It's kind of weird. I like the second movie, but I didn't really care for Biff in the second movie, and he's kind of the whole point of the second movie. But yeah, I don't know. I like them all,
Yeah, it's just great.
and of course, great music too.
And I was a big fan of Biff in the second movie because you know how I feel about gamblers. Okay, so number 4.
Hold on, I was looking for my. Sorry, I was a little slow. I don't know if you heard that or not, Jim.
No,
Oh, I'll do it again. You got to say your line again about gamblers. Say it.
you know how I feel about gamblers. My mom's hot.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the teaser.
This might be my favorite episode we've done.
You say that every episode. That
I
means
say
we're
it
getting
every
better. All right, so we're on to number 4 for you, Jason.
And Jim, you haven't heard of this, I'm sure of it. Gattaca.
Oh, for
You're
the
right.
Gattaca.
Just making stuff up, making me look bad.
So this one has Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman. This is actually how they met, and it is.
Are they married or something?
They used to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's great. It's a story about what it's like to give birth in the future, sort of thing. Like, what's better, being born with defects or being born without defects, and sort of the looks at, where science is going to take us for who we are. So it's
Like being able to edit genes and stuff. And
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So if you know your kid's going to have malformity or something, you can abort the baby before it's even born, or you can go in and genetically modify it so it doesn't have those problems. You can make your kid look how you want. And so Ethan Hawke is...
If you can fix it, but come out with like a robot hand anyway.
Well, I guess if it's a genetically roboted hand...
I'm completely taking the show off the rails.
But yeah,
that's a good movie. That is a good movie. I wish
Jude Law's amazing in it. That put him on the map for me.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to even write it down since you're sending me your list, right?
Yeah.
Man,
All right.
after this show, I'm going to have to watch a ton of stuff.
I know.
Doctor Who, this,
G.I.
that.
Jeff.
G.I. Jeff.
Dude, it's like 22 minutes. Just get on it.
Yeah.
We'll do it together after this.
We could actually probably have it playing during the show.
that was in my wedding vows.
Hi-oh!
Okay. We're under number 4, right?
We're on to number 4.
Okay. Number four for me is the Ghostbusters franchise.
I didn't even think about it as sci-fi. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's the first one is one of my favorite movies. But Afterlife might be my favorite one overall. I've only seen it once, so that's probably just recency bias. But I really enjoy these movies. And
I'm with you.
they really tugged on the nostalgia in the Afterlife, but they also branched the story out where it can go somewhere, not just
Yes. Yeah. It didn't rely on the nostalgia.
yes,
It was just,
yeah. It plus apparently I'm just a really huge Paul Rudd fan, so
you are, yeah.
I can't even hide it anymore.
I know.
I love Paul Rudd.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
He, possible spoilers, I don't know, but when he throws his ice cream at the monster in Walmart, which is the best stocked Walmart I've ever seen with ice cream.
I want to go shop at that one.
I know when they were showing him browsing through the ice cream, I was like, no, that never happened. It's never like that.
No.
Walmart do better.
Yes. I wonder if they probably paid. I wonder how much they paid to be in that movie.
And it was clean.
Plus the stock. Yeah, there was nobody in a crop top or pajama bottoms or nothing happening.
Going into Walmart, it's kind of like going into a Dairy Queen. They're never clean.
Right.
So
No, they're not.
But yeah, I love the movie. Let's not
Cool.
bag
It
on
is.
the place that we all shop.
I actually like number 2, and I know a lot of people don't care for number 2, but I really like. I like number 2. I like Rick Moranis more in number 2, or yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since I've seen number 2.
And Sigourney Weaver's great.
I can't.
What? What? What?
You did that one to yourself. Nobody was even.
I know. I'm not even making the joke. I just start laughing. I saw number 2 in the theater.
The second one.
Yes, I saw the second one in the theater with my mom. It was a date. It wasn't a date.
Okay, I'm changing the title of this show from Out of This World to Off the Rails because
But so
Oh my
when she was
God.
visiting a little while ago, she don't remember going to the theater and seeing it with me. So apparently she's more memorable to me than I am to her. But yeah, I just have to watch that movie again.
I love the second one. I had a hat. I wore it everywhere. It was like my pride. When I got to meet Ernie Hudson, the thing I got him to sign was the Ghostbusters 2 picture, and he was always my favorite Ghostbuster. He's who I would be when I was a kid. I would be Winston.
like I love Sigourney Weaver in it. I thought she was just great.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm trying to think. I think Bill Murray has to be my favorite character in the. Yeah, he's my favorite Ghostbuster.
So that was number 4, right?
Yes.
My number 4 is Terminator, so that takes us to number 3 for Jason.
Blade Runner.
I've never seen it.
I know it's bad.
Yeah, it. As many people as I know that love that movie, how I have not seen it yet is beyond me.
So when
I'm
I
also
first,
sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
It's off the subject. I was just going to say I've also never seen Tron either. So
Me
no Blade
neither.
Runner, no Tron.
Okay, I've seen Tron.
But
Um,
anyway,
when I
Nice.
first seen Blade Runner, I did not like it. I hated it. And I thought, how can this be something? That there was that voiceover, and Harrison Ford sounded so bored. And then they eventually released a different cut, and it had no voiceover. And just that alone made it so much better. And now there's like
the silent version.
now there's like 4 or 5 different edits, and they're all good for their own reasons. But it's just a great movie. It's gorgeous. It's so well done. It feels like a real world lived in the future, but yeah. And the new one was really good too. I liked the new one.
did you like the new one? Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that either, but I know people were mixed on that too.
Yeah, they always are. That's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Another one I got to watch.
Sorry.
No,
No, it's yeah. I don't know why I always get that and Highlander confused.
Oh, Highlander's great. That needs to be on my list.
Highlander.
I haven't seen it. I just remember people fighting on ice.
The TV series is great. The first movie is great. The second movie is great. After that, I'm not so sure, but I think the first two of Highlander were the first one especially.
The first one. The other after that, I'm off. I mean, I don't remember them very much, but the first one is just.
Did you watch the series?
I couldn't do it, right? Like
No.
I missed, Christopher Lambert in there, and
Well, I mean, they changed the character though.
yeah,
It's not Duncan; it's Gavin, or the other way around. I can't remember now. It's a different McLeod.
yeah.
But
No, I haven't seen it. Maybe one day if I see it on something. It's the kind of thing I like watching the old stuff now.
yeah,
Feel less committed and just put it on.
yeah. Well, see, I saw the series I think before I saw the movie, so that's probably why I enjoyed
Oh.
the series.
Okay.
That was back in what, the 90s? It was back in the 90s. When
the series,
came
yeah.
out.
The movie was early 80s.
Yeah, I think it was before the 90s.
But I hadn't seen the movie
Hadn't seen
until
it.
after. I probably even never heard of the movie at that time. I mean, we lived in a little town with a video store that was open for like 2 years. So we didn't have access to stuff that wasn't on TV.
Right.
So I need to go watch that again. But that's just such a cool plot too. I mean, yeah, just the idea of that, the whole Highlander thing. But that wasn't the pick, was it?
So the
were
victory
talking
is Blade Runner.
That's right.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
This is why we did this show, honestly. We're like, let's just talk.
yeah.
All right, so my number 3 is the Star Wars franchise.
Okay, and that's my number 2.
Yeah, it's what's your favorite of the Star Wars franchise?
My favorite is the first one is New Hope.
Me too.
Mine is probably Return of the Jedi because I'm a huge alien fan of that world anyway, of that galaxy.
Right.
So I a lot of people complain about Jabba's palace and how long it is, and I love every second of it.
Yeah.
And then it's probably Empire, and then probably New Hope. And they're all
I like New Hope.
they're
That
all
introduced me.
fantastic. When you're saying what's your favorite, it's just
For sure.
yeah.
I just can't pass up the cantina.
Oh, the cantina scene is probably my favorite scene in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Doesn't make the movie better for me, I guess, but
Right.
it's great. The whole thing's
No,
great.
it's my
Plus, Return of the Jedi has Nien Nunb. It's my
That's
favorite.
what? Oh, it is. Yeah. Right.
I said Return of the Jedi has Nien Nunb. So
Oh, yes. Okay. I didn't realize that was his name.
oh yeah. So he did as much co-piloting of the Millennium Falcon as Chewbacca did. He gets no credit. None. None. That's why I picked him. That's my guy.
This is
Then
Jim
I was like, I'm
Hilton.
going to collect something. It's going to be Nien Nunb because they get nothing out. So
My guy is from Star Wars is the originally they called him like Walrus Man. I just found my old figure. And so he's the guy that
The guy
gets
in the
his
bar?
arm cut off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the what is that Family Guy that did all the
gosh.
parodies?
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, where he was an architect or he was a drafter, and he couldn't do his job anymore. Had to learn how to do it with his other arm. It's just terrible.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Yeah, it's
Have you seen that, Jason? The Family Guy?
No,
What's it
no,
called?
I hadn't seen that.
Robot
It's
Chicken.
called What's it called? The Force or Dark? You got to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
It's Robot
That's,
Chicken, isn't it?
No, Robot Chicken one's good too. But Family Guy also does it.
It's the one they went under what the movie was originally called, like Blue Harvest.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have seen
Yeah.
that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so
I'll have
good.
to see that again.
Nice. All right. My number 3 is Jurassic Park. We've talked about. So that takes us to
That
your
John
Number-
Williams soundtrack.
2, Jason. Number 2.
My number 2 is the Matrix movies.
That's my number 1.
I knew that'd be your number 1.
It almost is my number 1, except for the fact that my number 1 is like my favorite movie of all time.
So it's almost your number 1, except for it's not.
Except for that it's not. That's
Yes.
right. But like, I am a big Matrix fan.
Yeah.
I got all the figures. I played the online game. I was there for the beta of that. Like, I love the Matrix. And I didn't care for it when I seen the first one. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's a smart action movie. That's cool. It was the second one that really opened my eyes to the fact that this could be a whole world of possibilities and stories and anything else. And I loved that. So I've got the comics, and it's...
So I'm with you. Difference is, number 1 was mind blowing for me seeing it in the theater for the first time. But number 2, again, another one that a lot of people don't like, is probably my favorite of the 3. The twins are 2 of my favorite characters in any movies ever. And I would love to see a whole show with them. Like, just give me a movie of them doing their thing. And that would be great. Plus, yeah, just the whole, okay, we have Neo and he's all powerful, but hold on a second, he's really not all powerful. There are people out there that can do all sorts of stuff. And because, after the first one, you're thinking, okay, Neo now is God. He can do anything he wants in the universe. How can there possibly be a second one?
Right.
But I think they go into it just great. And yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
So I've told you my petty reason of why I had trouble with the Matrix, because of Keanu Reeves. And dude, at any moment. So my second reason, equally as petty.
I know your reason for this. You've told me this.
About the his love interest.
Yeah.
It looks like Keanu Reeves. I'm not
saying
saying
Trinity
she's
looks
masculine.
like.
I'm not saying she's an ugly woman. I'm saying she looks too much like Keanu Reeves, and it freaks me out whenever they kiss.
This coming from a guy who just talked about
My mom. Thinking the exact same thing.
Oh.
But yeah, okay. This will be another franchise I will go back and I will check out, because I know they also have a role-playing game. I know what you're talking about, the MMORP, the online game.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did play it. I don't think I got very far. Probably past the free trial or something like that. I never got past that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in, because me and Steve have similar tastes in movies. I mean, obviously we have differences, but
Of course, yeah.
I don't know why I don't love it.
Now,
What's that?
if there was anything I could change about the trilogy,
Would it be Keanu Reeves?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would get rid of the whole first half hour Zion scene in the third one.
Yeah.
It bored me to death. I don't think most of it added nothing to the film other than a big rave. So they could have cut that down to about 5 minutes and not lost anything. I think I always kind of fast forward through that part. It does nothing for me. But outside of that, yeah, it's really great. It's really, really good.
I even really liked the new one that they did.
I did too. I thought they did a great
Revolution?
job.
Revelations, is it? Maybe? I
Revolution.
don't even remember what it's called.
Revolution,
Yeah.
Revelation.
Maybe it's Revolutions. Oh, yeah. I think maybe that is it. No, it was beautiful. I loved it. It just couldn't believe
It takes you a while to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Or it took me a while. I'm like, okay, where are they? How is this happening? And then it clears it up. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just great. And speaking of watching a movie multiple times and getting different endings, or seeing different things and discovering, Matrix is great for that.
And Elrond is fantastic. I love Elrond.
Oh,
I just lost his name.
Agent
Hugo
Smith.
Hugo
Weaving.
Weaving.
Yeah. No, he's
I can't-
he was awesome.
He's definitely one of the best movie villains too.
Easily.
Yeah. And you kind of, as a lot of people know, well, two people know, and it might just be me. I don't ever really empathize with the villains. But with him, I could see it like he's just as trapped as everybody else.
Yeah.
So why is his journey any different than anybody else's?
I think because he puts himself above everyone else. But yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a villain for sure.
Yeah,
I see why he's a villain. No, I get that, but I can almost empathize with his reasoning.
Absolutely. Yeah. I get it.
Cool. So that was your number 2. What's your number 2, Jim?
Back to the Future.
Okay, Back to the Future. Right, and of course, mine is Star Wars. So that's going to take us to our number 1. And I think I can guess both of your number 1s. It may have been even a teaser in the intro tonight. Yeah. Okay. What's your number 1, Jason?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Right.
Yeah. That just changed the way I look at movies in general.
So I talked about this with you, I think, and why I don't really like it. It's not that I don't like it; it's that the intro is so long. Like the spaceship is just flying towards the station for how long is it? 15 minutes?
Something like that. Yep.
Oh man, with no noise, no sound. And I imagine in the 70s when it was in the theaters, this was the most amazing thing that had ever been seen before.
People walked out. Like it was
Really?
Even then, people were angry and bored and like, what's going on? I understand why people would not like this movie. I would never expect people to go. I never expect anyone to like it. I get why people don't. But it's just such a different movie that's part of what I really appreciate.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
I don't remember it.
Do
I
you
know
know?
I've seen this movie, and I don't remember it at all.
2001 Space. You know the music, right?
Yeah. Can you sing it?
And then of course the biggest catchphrase from it was "Open the pod bay doors, Hal." That's the main, probably the line you would recognize. But
Years ago, I was applying to work at Blockbuster, and they do those big interviews. They call them auditions or whatever, and you get a whole bunch of people in there. And one of the things they get you to do is act out a scene from your favorite movie. So when it came to me, I just took my chair, I moved it away from everyone, and I sat there repeating, "Open the pod bay doors, Hal." I can't do that, Dave. Open the pod bay doors, Hal. I did that for 5 minutes with no one saying anything.
That's funny.
I did not get the job, but I loved at least ruining their day.
That makes me incredibly happy, and I don't remember the movie.
I think you might like it, Jim.
I know I've seen it. That's the sad part. I know I've seen this movie. It's just
It's it's not a fast-paced movie by any means.
Maybe I haven't. I don't know.
It is a slow. This movie is about the visuals. It's about to me, it's about the visuals. It's about the ambiance of everything going on around him.
There's big ideas, even if it's not stated. It's
Right.
it's a big idea movie, going from the dawn of man till the end of man, the next evolution.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is boring. There's parts where it's just random conversation that has almost nothing to do with anything. I love it.
Yeah.
I do not suggest people run out and watch this movie. I love it.
No, a lot of people do love it though. A lot of people do really. I mean, it was groundbreaking. There's no doubt about it. It was groundbreaking, and there may not be a more popular theme song out there.
I mean, it's not really a theme song. It's a real song that wasn't made.
Right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But yes, absolutely, it's been adopted.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Cool. So that was your number one, and I think I can guess Jim's number one too. You think I can guess your number one, Jim?
You can say it if you want to.
It's got to have Tim Allen in it.
Yes, it does.
There we go. Okay.
100% Galaxy Quest.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It makes me laugh every time I see it. Alan Rickman is fantastic in it. Since we're bringing back up, the whole cast is great. I mean, the other actors are the ones I really like in the movie. I think they're really great. I can't think of anyone's name. Tony Shalhoub, he's fantastic in it.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
So I think that movie is better than it has any.
What's that?
Reason to be. I think the movie is better than it should be.
Well, it plays off Star Trek so well. Yeah. Which, I mean, I like Star Trek, but I don't love Star Trek. But have either one of you seen the documentary about the Never Give Up, Never Surrender? It's a documentary about the movie. And Will Wheaton and Brent Spiner comes on, who plays Data in The Next Generation, says, why didn't we do this? We would have made so much money. And they would have, because it's a brilliant movie. It's a fantastic parody that puts the fans almost in the driver's seat. I mean, it takes nerdy fans and doesn't make fun of them and elevates them in the movie, which I think most of us are. Do
you think that if that movie would have had a different lead actor other than Tim Allen? I love Tim Allen, but he's not everybody's cup of tea. Do you think if it would have had a different actor, it would have been more popular?
I don't know. Tim Allen was really popular when that movie came out.
I know it was.
Not for sci-fi, right?
Right.
I mean, he's a big sci-fi guy. Him, as far as
what he likes,
according to the documentary they made. I don't know. There was, Alec Baldwin wanted the role. There's quite a few people that wanted that role, and it just didn't work. And I think him and Alan Rickman really played well off of one another because they're so different. Their characters were different, and then their careers were drastically different. So I think that worked really well. Yeah. Is there some corny things in the movie? Yes. Do I love every one of them? Of course I do. I just, it makes me laugh every time. So,
it is.
It's a top 5 all-time movie for me.
Nice.
I can watch that when we hit end record. I can call up my mom and say, "Hey, let's throw this on."
Oh,
It's
man.
just great.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, it's a real fun movie. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I probably haven't seen it for 10 years now. I've only seen it the once. I need to watch it again.
I've only seen it the once, yeah.
So the first time I watched it, it definitely wasn't like, oh, this is a top 5 movie of all time for me. But the more I watch that movie, the more I can watch that movie with my kids. There's some language that I don't want the boys to hear. I just fast forward that part. But for the most part, it's very family friendly. It's just, I don't know. The movie just holds a special place for me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Nice.
I've probably seen that movie 40 times, and I'm not joking.
Yeah.
So
that's how I am.
I've seen the documentary 6 times.
Wow.
I'll lay on the couch, and some nights I have trouble sleeping. I'll lay on the couch and I'll put it on.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it 6 times probably all the way through, but straight through. I've seen it 6 times probably all the way through. Just not. I probably tried watching it 15 times.
Yeah, you don't watch anything all the way through the first at once. So
Well, yeah, I got to sleep.
you do. Getting old sucks.
Yeah, I got. At least I didn't have to pay to see it. How's Black Adam again?
It's the third movie I fell asleep.
Oh, I went through a stage when I was in the Army that I was falling asleep in every other movie I went to see. It was crazy.
The Army. I think that explains it. It's not easy.
Most of it was drinking related.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a whole lot of waiting around to do stuff. Like you spend a lot of time waiting.
Oh yeah.
Are we talking about 2001 again?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So my number 1 was The Matrix. We talked about that. I've seen that as many times as you guys have seen your number 1s, and that's probably why there are our number 1s.
Yeah.
I can watch it anytime. Just love it. So cool. So those are our top 10 sci-fi movies. Now, what about honorable mentions? You got any honorable mentions, Jason?
Yeah, I got I got High Rise, The Thing, and Total Recall.
Okay, cool. The Thing.
So The Thing was on my list as well. I just don't remember it well enough to even talk about it. I remember the video game more than I remember the movie because in my 20s, my roommate was playing the video game on the PlayStation or whatever it was, and it was pretty intense. I mean,
Yeah.
But
Steve, you may enjoy High Rise. One of the characters in The Matrix is named after the author who wrote High Rise.
Oh, really?
Ballard.
Okay.
Yep. So it's movie, book first, but it's a story about people who live in an apartment complex, and eventually everything just sort of shuts down. And it's not survival of the fittest, but it's sort of a Lord of the Flies kind of a thing, and what happens to society and the upper classes, and it's a good one.
Sounds good.
Once you got to talking about High Rises, the first thing that jumped in my mind was the movie Sliver with Sharon Stone. Don't know why.
Sliver.
That's a good one too.
Sounds familiar. I
So
thought
that was her follow up to
Basic Instinct.
Basic Instinct, but it was Stephen Baldwin, if I remember right.
Yes.
Was her co-star, correct? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the only thing I have on the list here that didn't make my list was Looper.
Oh, that's good too.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah, Bruce Willis, time travel, couldn't go wrong.
Yeah, man, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, who plays his younger self? John.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
There you go.
He
hasn't even seen it. He knows. Yeah, I know.
I wanted to see it. I think it came out like when my daughter was born or something. Like there was something that kind of kept me away from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember really enjoying it. I think I've only seen it once, but I was like, I just put it on my list, and didn't make my list, obviously. Oh,
I've got a few. I've got a few here. I wanted to have one on there just because it seems like something that I should have on a list or that people would have, but I just couldn't do it. And so I don't mention movies I don't like very often, but I'm going to put this one on my list of honorable mentions. And that's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
never seen it.
I'm surprised that wasn't on your list, Jason. I don't know how it wasn't.
You're right. I don't know how it wasn't.
No.
It's amazing.
I mean, you're talking about Clockwork Orange and all these. I'm like, okay, his number 3 or 2 is going to be Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh, you're right.
I was expecting it to be on this list too.
Go do it. It would be on there.
Actually, it wouldn't have been your number 3 or 2. It would have been your number.
Yeah, I don't know what it would be.
It would have been your number 42. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So I flipped back to look for. I was talking about Looper. I went back to when I originally started our lists, and then it changed over to Buddy Cops movies, and then I numbered them somewhere else. So on this list here at number 4, I have Starship Troopers.
Oh, yes.
So I kicked something else off here that I had at number 4. I had number 4 and kicked it off. And somehow 12 Monkeys made my list.
Starship Troopers is amazing.
It is. It's good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because we've been talking about that. That's been on Twitter, so I'm surprised you've.
Yeah, like I said, I have it as number 4 here.
Good spot for it.
What? Well, that's the only one not on here, so I kept everything else above that. I mean, right now that would kick off Ready Player One. Probably
That would just kick off
Minority
12
Report.
Monkeys, right? And it would just
What's
move
that?
everything else. It would just kick off 12 Monkeys and move everything else down.
No, it would kick off a couple other ones because I had it at number 4 at one point.
Yeah, but your number 4 would go to number 5, your number 9 would go to number 10, and your number 10 would go off the list.
Oh, well, that's true, but I'm just saying it would be. I don't know if I would have it at 4.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Cool.
so anyway, Starship Troopers, honorable mention.
Nice. A couple more here. I got 1984.
Love the book. Couldn't watch the movie because
we had to watch the movie in high school.
Oh yeah,
and that's the only reason I've seen it. I like the book better too.
Yeah.
And probably if I'd just seen the movie, it wouldn't be on my list. But having read the book and then seen the movie, it's on there.
Yeah.
And I remember we had to get parental consent to watch it because there's a nude scene in it. But of course, that's the only thing I remember. No, that's not the only thing. I remember. Just a really good idea. Also, Edge of Tomorrow. I have on here, or what's the other name for it? It's actually got 2 names.
Sorry,
But just Tom Cruise dying over and over and over until he, gets things right.
Ender's Game. Ender's Game.
That's a good one too. And then Fifth Element. I'm amazed at how much sci-fi Bruce Willis has actually been in.
All right.
What's the naval ship that gets taken back to World War II?
Oh, that's Final Countdown.
That's a great movie.
That's a good one too. Yeah. The jets are flying around. They end up back in 1942 or is it 1942?
Yeah, right before they see the Japanese planes go over Pearl Harbor.
Right. Yeah. That's a good one too. Of course, the song's great too, right? So,
yes.
Any movie with a great song is, and of course, that song, Final Countdown, becomes even better if you're an Arrested Development fan.
Oh yeah. One other movie I'd thought about putting on was Flight of the Navigator.
Oh,
That's a good one too.
Yeah. My memories of that movie are strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time travel.
You're gonna love Doctor Who.
Why do I remember that being on TV and not being at the theater though?
Probably because it was on TV a lot.
Yeah, I just don't remember the theatrical release of that.
I remember renting it, and then it was like always on TV after that.
Yeah, I remember Paul Rubin did the voice of the starship, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
that's a great
No.
movie. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Oh,
I enjoy that movie.
you guys had some good choices.
As did you.
You haven't heard of half of them.
Well, that doesn't mean they're not good. It just means I'm sci-fi illiterate.
No.
It was
Nice,
nice.
good. It's fun.
Mine basically consists of blockbusters that happen to be sci-fi movies. If it came out between June 15th and July 15th of any year and it's sci-fi, I probably enjoy it. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
yeah. I can't believe I never even thought of Independence Day.
just
That was such
giving
a
them a
good
virus, right?
Yeah.
You would have thought about it. I mean,
Remember
nobody said
reading-
War of the Worlds. Although I guess that's not really sci-fi, is it?
Yeah, more than Bill and Ted.
That's true. All right. Well, we closed in on 2 hours. We are definitely much better with guests on, Jim.
Yeah,
We are like an old married couple with nothing to talk about when it's just the two of us. So, and we've only been married for like 2.5 months now. We're in
The last
total
episode,
Denver.
you said, you're going to have to be quick with the guest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, right? By the way,
I
we're
don't
going to be in
remember
there 2
saying that. I don't remember that.
This wasn't even doing a show though. This was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
This was fun.
Good tangents.
Everything
was fun.
flowed. Yeah, that's the best part is the tangents.
I can't wait to see Jim's mom.
I just Oh,
Hey, she's
man.
got to be a guest one day.
Yeah, I don't think she'd do it, but I can't get my wife to do it.
Oh my lord!
Anyway.
You're good.
All right. Well, thanks, Jason, so
Yeah.
much for being on the show.
Thank you,
Everybody who doesn't know who Jason DC Patrol is, he is probably the best fan, viewer, watcher, supporter out there. A lot of people say they watch the show, and I believe that they probably skip through some parts, but I know that you you watch through and you let us know, and I love your comments. Reading your comments is probably my favorite part of
As do I. I really appreciate
the
it.
after show.
Appreciate
Yeah, you are so appreciated.
I apologize. I probably won't watch the next one.
No, I don't blame you.
There'll be no comments on this one.
That's right. Yeah.
There's a-
But and anybody else out there watching, again, as usual, upcoming soon. I think our next show we're looking at doing. We have a list already. Catchphrases. Next one is catchphrases, unless we end up getting another guest beat before then. And then we're going to hopefully do a Thanksgiving show also. And upcoming is Lost in Comics doing their show on the 22nd of November. That'll be Tuesday, and he'll be interviewing Philip Kennedy Johnson. And also make sure you are watching Gathering of the Geeks with Chris and Emmett and checking out Tricks or Truth whenever Adam decides to release another new episode. Support everybody out there and watch what you like to watch. And just
I'm going to go ahead and throw out a Generation X-Wing podcast. If you're into Star Wars or pop culture in general, they do a good podcast as well.
Nice. Sounds good. And I know people always say at this point that they'll post those links in their YouTube feed. I don't have any idea how to do that. So we may not. If you watch the show, just look them up. They're easy to find. Anybody got anything else to add?
I do not.
All righty. Well, thanks for watching us, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.
Have a good one.